Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. Just a humble little show.
Yeah, just a little show on the internet.
Two guys in a blanket fort.
Puppet show.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, if you haven't been here while we've recorded an episode, you don't know that this is actually a puppet show.
Yeah. When people walk in, it's us like Punch and Judy style. We're behind a little.
We're under the table.
Yeah.
And yeah, we have our puppets.
We don't meet people face to face. We have puppets. We have intermediary puppets.
When Paul and Chandra came in to record, we were actually puppets. Like, they didn't even get to see us. We were just controlling puppets from under the table.
It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys play new and fun games because it's other shit Monday.
Usually we play old games.
No, it's Original Fire Wednesday.
But I went to Dragoncon, so
so it's okay.
Things are a little out of sorts.
The audience, I think everyone gets this happens once a year. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, it might happen more frequently.
Because of Dragoncon, it happens once a year.
Yeah. I plan on going to more cons.
Let's see. So this week, we're going to be talking about a game that archivist with the master cute butt Paul Korn introduced us to.
Yep.
Called Reigns.
Reigns
Of
Castamere.
Yeah. The bear, all covered in hair. That's not the right song, but it's all about.
Just kidding. It is just Reigns. I don't want to confuse everybody right off the bat. A Game of Thrones game?
What?
Not that there aren't there's a handful of Game of Thrones games out already.
Oh yeah. Well, there's I remember there's a really shitty one, like an adventure game, and then there's the Telltale game, which I hear is good. And I feel like there's another strategy game. There's a few card games and board games, but
I like the card game.
Yeah, the one that our friend Carpenter had. Yeah. Well, I'm your bearded host Tyler, and before we get to Reigns. And Dave, you have some Dragoncon stories and things like that to get to. I feel it pertinent to discuss. I mean, because everyone who listens to this, you're a friend of mine. You just are. I mean, I talk about buttholes and vaginas and sex and everything in my dick enough that everybody, you're a close friend.
Anyone listening you trust with your child.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, a close friend.
You want to babysit? Just come over.
Not a big deal.
It's fine. So, because I know after talked about moving, and then I was in Tadpog High Rise, and then now I have this new place.
Tadpog.
So
yep.
I've had questions and everything. So I'll.
You've had questions?
I've had questions about things.
People
so
are asking you stuff.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll be forthright and just go ahead and get this out in the open because I feel like I need to.
Okay.
Which is that?
Am I going to be shocked?
No.
Okay.
No, you already know. You knew a long time ago.
Do you want me to pretend like I'm surprised?
No, it's okay.
I'll just feel it out. My emotions will go where they go.
But Meg and I are no longer together. We are divorced. I know because people have been like, where has she been? Why are you going to all these different houses?
When's the next Pog?
Yeah, when she hadn't been on the show lately.
Yeah.
And it's civil and everything's fine. There's nothing bad or angry or awful about it. It's just sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah.
And she's still a wonderful person, and we're going to be friends, and we're going to be the best parents we can possibly be. And I love her as the mother of my daughter, and she's an amazing mother, and I'm always going to respect her, and we're always going to get along. But I just wanted to put that out there so people know, and because people have wondered. So
yeah, well, there you go.
So it's been time enough. So throwing that. What?
That's my shot.
I wonder where she'd been.
Oh my god, I haven't seen her in a while.
Why was half your stuff gone?
Oh man, thank God! I thought you'd murdered her. I was afraid to ask.
And you just had Ken out looking for her 3.5 days out of the week.
Oh. Well,
Now be funny.
I know, right? It's like, cool.
Be funny.
Cool.
You better be fucking funny.
Why did I go first? We can all get real down and talk about Reigns. So there's this game, and you make decisions and stuff.
just like you guys made a decision.
Just like in life.
You know, you have to do something, and one thing or the other happens.
You know,
It's not the illusion of choice.
Reigns could easily be like a marriage simulator, I feel like, where there's 4 things that you have to balance and make sure that they don't get too full or
and
too
if
empty.
one thing doesn't work out, you're dead.
Yeah. What's up, Internet? I am Dave, and I am back from Dragoncon. Man, I had a really good time at Dragoncon.
I'm glad.
I've got some Dragoncon stories. I was worried because I just had gone to the arcade expo, and I was worried that I was going to be exhausted from that and kind of be bleh. It's fine. Didn't have a problem. I'm so sad to be home. I'm
No
not gonna
con
lie.
crud.
I didn't get any con crud. Nikki's sneezing, and she's saying it's allergies, and it might be, but no, I'm good to go. Survived it this year, but no, I was fine. It was a lot of fun. I got to meet up with Drew and Bailey of Hops and Heroes podcast. If you're not listening to them, definitely check them out.
Because they won the raffle to be included in the rooms with us at DragonCon. So that's a secret raffle we do every year for people to throw in.
Tickets are $700 a piece. If you'd like a raffle ticket for next year,
they each bought one, and they won. And they won.
Yeah, they won.
No one else bought, so they won by default.
Yeah, they paid to get there themselves. They paid for the rooms themselves.
You pay for your own airfare and room and board.
Essentially, they won the shittiest showcase on the prices, right? A TADPOG journey. I was hoping to meet up with Daniel of Loaded Cart Gaming podcast, but when Drew and Bailey were going to go meet up with him, I was playing a board game. So I was like, I'm playing a board game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hope he understands.
got these sacks. Sorry.
I know. So check out Loaded Cart Gaming as well, please.
And Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy to get that reference I just made.
Everyone got it. Also, in the show notes, I might have. Here's an idea. As I was typing in Loaded Cart Gaming, I accidentally typed Loaded Cat Gaming. So there you go. There's your free idea for an April Fool's Day episode. Paul and Dan.
Or you just act like drunk cats and report.
Oh man, these cats are loaded. Man, did you see when that one cat drank a whole bunch of beer and then spit in the other cat's face? Man, I bet that's going to be socially awkward at the next office party. So I get to play a lot of board games, which is always fun.
Yeah.
I get to meet up with Maester Wiley and correspondent Laura. It was a lot of fun. Jacob of Wolffighting fame, of course. I got to play a bunch of different games I hadn't played before. Mice and Mystics. Have you heard of that?
I heard of it from your Facebook post talking about it. So yes.
Yes. It's kind of cool. It reminded me of Hero Quest. It's like a D&D minis light game where you all play mice. And it's wrapped around like a storybook kind of thing.
Like, is it similar to Mouse Guard, just lighter in tone?
Nah, well, the only similarity it has with Mouse Guard is the fact that you're mice and you're in like a fantasy setting.
Okay.
Like beyond that, it's more like it's a lot like Arkham Horror, and I say that because it's a co-op game. Each one plays a different class, and you go through dungeons. Each dungeon is a chapter in the storybook. And so like the storybook has like 5 chapters or something like that. And what happens is as you fight enemies, there is a doom clock that will fill up with cheese. And once it fills with cheese, the chapter, the doom track moves up. And if the doom track gets to the end of the story before you're done going through the dungeon, you lose. We lost.
okay.
We were very, very close, which sucks. We were literally a turn away. The way that it ends is all the mice were supposed to get into like a little nook in a tree. We had 3 of 4 of us there, and the 4th person would have made it the next turn.
Oh, that sucks.
It really makes us evaluate like earlier turns. Like, did we really need to search for that thing, or should we have just gone ahead? The answer is we should have just gone ahead.
Oh man, that sucks.
So that was cool. Wiley picked up Mule. I know he talked about Mule
I've
on
heard about
the board
it.
games episode. I thought it was a board game to begin with, but no, it was just a video game. I think it was out on the NES and I think the Commodore 64. I could be wrong, but someone got the rights to that game and made a Mule board game. We played, I think it's called Epic Spell Words, I think is the name of the game, where it's this card game where you build a hand of 3, and you combine 3 cards essentially to make a spell. And you all play as wizards, and you lay down the hand that you've made face down, and then you go in an initiative order determined by a number on one of the cards in that hand. That is a lot of fun. It's a real casual kind of like game where you could easily drink and play it and still be fine.
That'd be good.
So we got to play that. Where I finally got to play the Battlestar Galactica board game. I got to play Tyler.
What'd you think of that?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I haven't seen, as everyone listening knows, I'm not a true nerd. I haven't seen Battlestar Galactica. I couldn't make it to that mini-series at the beginning.
Did it ruin things for you? So now you know who all the Cylons are, so you may as well not watch it.
No, I don't know who all the Cylons are, thank God. I thought I had something really big spoiled for me, but Ramon was like, "No, that's the end of the first episode. It's not a big deal. Something about someone being revealed as someone's relative. I don't know. Just gonna throw that out there.
Must not be a big deal. I don't remember.
But the board game itself was really fun. It's got a trader mechanic, kind of. So at the beginning of the game, everyone's dealt a card that will, you flip it over and you read it and it'll tell you if you're a Cylon or not. There's 1 Cylon card in 9, the total of 9 cards. So we were playing with 4 players. So right from the beginning,
So you could make a game where no one's a Cylon?
absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know
so that makes it
Okay.
like really interesting because you're playing cooperatively in the Battlestar Galactica game. What you're trying to do is make jumps, and you're trying to make enough jumps to get to humanity. I don't know what planet you're actually going for. It's from season 1, I can tell you that.
Well, in the series, Earth is a forgotten thing in the series. Like, humans have been off Earth for so long, no one remembers where it is, how to get there, hardly anything about it. So you're on Caprica. Cylons invade Caprica, kill like 80% of the human population. Just like a few ship, basically the Battlestar Galactica ship, and like some others it's all that's left.
Yeah.
And then you're light speed jumping from place to place. The Cylons constantly chasing you,
Right.
trying to find another place that the humans can inhabit.
Well, then, I mean, it does a very good job of replicating that because the Cylons are chasing you, and if you don't jump fast enough, they'll show up and start attacking your ship. So what's really cool, I love the trader mechanic because at the beginning of the game, it's determined whether or not someone's a Cylon. Then halfway through the game, the rest of the cards are dealt. So if no one's a Cylon at the beginning of the game, there's still a chance that someone's a sleeper. And so halfway through the game, you deal, out of the 5 cards remaining, you deal 4 cards. And chances are someone at that point in the game, they're going to be a Cylon, but there's also a chance that they're not at all. So then if someone's a Cylon, now they can decide to either reveal themselves as a Cylon or they can try to work covertly to sabotage the humans.
Do you know, out of our friend group, who you do not want to get the Cylon card?
Wiley.
Correspondent Laura.
Oh, yeah?
Because she is already usually so crazy and chaotic and fuck shit up anyway that like if she's a Cylon, it's just fuck it.
Well, I said Wiley because he knows the rules like inside and out. Like if anybody could like construct a way to like beat a whole bunch of newbies to the game, it would be Wiley. And that's what happened because he was a sleeper Cylon.
Okay.
And he totally won the game. But it came down to the very end. Like the game does a really good, like this is a wonderful game. And I can tell you that honestly, I don't have any connection to the show. So like being completely outside of it, it's still a really fun and well-designed game because every single turn, it felt like we were on the brink of destruction, and it's designed that way.
That's how the show is. So.
And then at the very end, it literally came down to one skill check. And we could have won. It could have gone either way, but there's a destiny deck that is added that might help you and it might fuck you. It double fucked us. Then we were one jump away. And not only were we one jump away, we were like one little tiny sliver away. I mean, we were so fucking close. Wiley's plan didn't work. And it was all down to this last fucking skill check. And then, we failed it by 6. So.
Oh, man.
But it was a super fun game. I wanted to play it again. We just didn't have time.
It's a long-ass game.
It is long, but it was shorter than I thought it was going to be because it only took like 4 hours.
So I think that and Starfleet Imperium are like Wiley's
Twilight
favorite.
Imperium?
Twilight Imperium, thank you.
Which I still haven't played Twilight Imperium either. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
But that I saw it at the con. That fucking box is enormous.
Yep.
So that was pretty much it for board games. They had a lot of arcade games there this year. A lot of like Japanese arcade games. Paul Corn actually told me he looked into it. Tokyo Attack handled all the Japanese board games, or not handled all the Japanese arcade games there. And they had a bunch of cool shit that I had really only heard of. They had the Table Flip arcade game. Have you seen that?
No.
I know it's pretty popular on Reddit. It's a game where you choose a scenario, and then in that scenario, there will be a table, and you will flip it. And so instead of like it being an arcade game with like a joystick and buttons, the only real peripheral is a table. It's a table on a hinge. And what the hinge allows you to do is you can flip it like you were flipping a table, but the hinge will catch it and spring it back down. So what you do is you can also push down on the table. So as the scene is unfolding before you, you push down on the table like every few seconds, and it raises a meter on the left. And when the meter is full, you fucking flip the table up. And when you do, whatever scenario you're in, like for instance, I chose a funeral. So I was at a funeral, and it's all in Japanese. I have no idea what's being said, but I can tell that something about this funeral is making me angry. So instead of flipping a table, what I'm actually doing is flipping the coffin, because like when the meter gets full, I flip the table, and then the coffin gets flipped. A dead body rolls out and like hits a cat that like jumps up in the air. Everybody's horrified. It kind of reminded me of like a really, really, really cool version of Who's Your Daddy? There's another one I saw some other guys playing where they're in an office building, and I guess they're getting yelled at or something at work, and they flip the table, and the table explodes in midair, and like filing cabinets go flying everywhere. It's extremely Japanese and really cool.
Sounds good.
They had a whole bunch of rhythm games there. I am really looking forward to going back next year and at the very least playing more of that stuff. It was all on free play, so that was cool. And they had a whole bunch of retro games there too.
Did you have to pay to get into the arcade room?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It was all free. It was all. I mean, you needed a badge
ticket,
to get in, but it was all free.
That's
once you
awesome.
bought the badge.
I'm surprised.
I wish I didn't know about it until later in the con because I would have spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
But oh well. I went to a dance party for the first time at Dragoncon.
Oh.
That was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why.
Molly.
I went because of Molly. I went after the Voltaire concert, which I went to for the first time with Wiley.
shit.
Wiley he'd like talked to us about Voltaire for years.
Yeah, every year for the past 6 years.
And what happened was last con, I was like, I'm going to listen to some Voltaire. So on the way back or when I got home, I listened to some Voltaire on Spotify. And I was like, all right, this is good. I like this. I'll go next year. And so cut to this year, Wiley's like, I'm going to the Voltaire concert. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh, yes, but I am not drunk at all. And Wiley's like, well, here's some rum. So I took a whole solo cup and I filled it about a third way with ice. The rest was spiced rum. And then I added a quarter of a Coke
A
Zero.
soupçon of Coke.
Yeah. And I drank it all really fast, and I got super drunk and went to the Voltaire concert. By the time the Voltaire concert was out, Josh and Nicole had showed up along with some of our other friends. And they were like, well, what do you want to do now? Should we go back to the rooms? And I was like, fuck no, I want to go to Pulse for the first time, which is the bar that hangs over the ledge in the Marriott. And the music's always
I'm gonna go to Pulse, which looks like the bar in Mass Effect. Wherever you
it does. It looks like the bar in Mass Effect. You're right. So we go up there, and it was fucking amazing. It was really, really fun because I drank more there and got super drunk and danced with Alf.
Okay, now I'm on board.
I never expected these things to happen. Like, I never expected to be dancing with Wiley, Josh, and Nicole while thousands of costumed people are around us. So it was a lot of fun. That's my favorite fucking memory from this past con.
Nice.
Is being drunk and dancing. And then I slept till noon the next day and I felt fine.
Fuck yeah.
So that was my super long intro. I know I've left out some things. One more thing, if I may. One more thing. If you're not into Pokemon Go, skip ahead like 30. Yeah, skip ahead 2 minutes.
Skip ahead an hour to the end of the podcast.
Holy shit!
We said, Reigns, this is really Pokemon Go in a large urban environment.
Oh my god, it was amazing. At the 4 hotels there at Dragoncon, there's probably like maybe a dozen Pokestops, and lures were going fucking non-stop. Homie, I caught an Onyx there. I caught not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Aerodactyls. I caught 4 Aerodactyls at DragonCon.
I mean, second most sense to like catching a Dragonite or something at DragonCon.
Fucking on the way back. We're on the way back from DragonCon. We're on an interstate in Tennessee. We had just left the gas station, so we all had Pokemon Go up. This is me, Nikki, Josh, and Nicole. We all see a Dragonair pop up on the sightings. And it's like, holy shit, a Dragonair. If we weren't on the interstate, we could probably look around for this. The moment we say that, it pops for Nicole. None of the rest of us. She catches it.
Damn.
We made a stop in Chattanooga because we heard a rumor. Nicole she's on the Sylph Road Pokemon Nest Atlas, which like people can submit where nests are and people can upvote it, downvote it, that kind of thing. She found a nest in Chattanooga. So on the way there, it's like right at the zoo.
Yeah.
On the way there, we stopped. Sure enough, man, there were fucking Charmanders everywhere. And then on the way back, we stopped there again. Charmanders everywhere again.
That's nuts.
So yeah,
damn.
I'm like still have a way to go. I'm like 60 candy away from a Charizard.
Still, damn.
So man, it was great for Pokemon Go. Geodudes, man, Geodudes were fucking. Geodudes were Paducah's Eevees. And then plenty of Machops as well. Machops were like our Oddishes.
Yeah, damn. Because I just now finally caught enough. Day before yesterday, I finally hatched enough Machops to make him a choke, and then enough Geodudes. Geodudes make a Graveler, and then enough Mankeys to make a Primeape.
Oh, nice. Well, you're doing better than me.
So,
because I never.
I don't have any Aerodactyls, and you have 4.
Actually, I only have 2 now.
Ate them.
You know, it felt really weird to grind Aerodactyls into candy because it was just like,
You're so rare.
Yeah, this one doesn't appraise at top tier like these 2 do. So grind. It felt like honestly felt like dumping a bag of diamonds down my garbage disposal. So that's it. Pokemon Go talk is over. I'm done.
The thing I really regret about not being able to go to DragonCon is Pokemon Go. That's it. That's what I really want to go.
Holy shit. I would play a lot. I would go back and just to play Pokemon Go.
Like just sit in the food court and just eat garbage just until you get sleepy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I didn't even mention the best part. I'm not done talking about Pokemon Go. Because of I don't know what it is, but something about the Hilton caused drift. So my avatar was everyone's avatars were constantly drifting, which sucks because sometimes someone would be like, "Oh, here's an onyx," and then the rest would be like, "Oh, I don't see it because I'm in the other hotel." Apparently, according to my avatar,
sucks.
that part sucks. But the part that's great about it, you can just set the phone down. Avatar's constantly walking.
Oh, so you're just hatching eggs all the time.
Before I went to
man.
bed, I started incubating a 10K egg. I woke up and that motherfucker is hatched.
Damn. Jesus.
It was glorious. Do you also
anything
smell
good?
something burning, or am I having a stroke?
No, I smell it. I smell it.
I'm sorry. I just had to ask
No, I do.
because I didn't know if it was a medical emergency. We needed to stop the show.
I don't think I have any fire alarms up in here yet. So
Do we need to pause and check?
If you get hot, just let me know.
I don't see our soundboard.
I know. I'll
smoking.
go over there, and I just know we have to touch the doorknob first to see if it's hot. Remember that?
You've seen Backdraft.
I got a no. In my elementary school, they had a fire room set up
Really?
to where you had to like memorize the steps, and whoever did it the best, the fastest, got like a reward. I got that fucking blue ribbon.
Nice. Nice. A regular fire marshal bill.
I know how to get out of a room if it's on fire.
Why didn't you follow your true calling?
Escaping fire.
Escaping fires. You can make a career out of that,
I
right?
could have been like a masochistic arsonist.
Let's start you an Indiegogo. Tyler escapes fires.
My dream. Help me buy houses to set on fire just so I can see if I can get out of them.
You have to buy the house because you have to get truly attached to it. Then it doesn't mean anything otherwise. I'm sorry, you were asking a question when I interrupted about the fire, the possible death.
Oh, I remember.
Oh well.
We'll
Okay.
talk about rains.
You want to talk about rains?
Sure.
All right. We're about what 20 minutes into this.
26 minutes in.
Yeah, it's probably time.
It's fine.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
do you hear that?
I do.
What is it?
It's us
It's us
panicking that we might be about to die from a fire.
We're caught in a fire.
But it's a somewhat delicious smelling fire. So,
A little bit. Yeah, it's like a burnt toast fire.
or actually, people find us we're just stroked out in here.
What are the odds that both of us are having a stroke right now? Like simultaneously. And we're just making jokes. Like to
Like a
us,
fucked up Inception
yeah.
murder.
To us, we sound normal talking to each other. But
Play this back.
the recording is a mess.
Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah, that was a sweet impression.
That's how close we are.
Yeah, I know.
Through strokes, we're fine.
We're actually speaking telepathically. We're speaking gibberish, but in our
Nature
minds.
finds a way to get the podcast done.
That's right. Well, shit. If the show can publish while Dragoncon is going on, nature truly every year we publish the show while Dragoncon is going
Yeah.
on. Because every year Dragoncon's on a Monday because of Labor Day.
Yep. Yep.
That's our level of dedication. To us, mainly.
Yeah. Sure. It's our own personal dedication.
Yeah. It's our selfish dedication. Okay, so I'm sorry. It's the sound of us
Stroking out.
Yeah. Which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Okay, guys. Rains is not on Wikipedia, which kind of bums me out. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's a game that came out this year or if it's a game that no one has just bothered to make a page for. So what I've done is I've gone to devolverdigital.com, which is the publisher's website. I'll just read the description off of there if we're okay with that. It's our podcast. We're going to bend the rules a little
True.
bit. We're going to have a little fun on this episode.
Let's get a little bit crazy
Yeah, we're
here.
just going to get a little creative.
This Wednesday. Nutty Wednesday.
So Reigns is a game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a game. That's what the site says.
Man, Devolver nailed it.
Oh, man. It's a game, period. This is a very short description. So here's what it says. It's going to sound markety, which I don't like, but just bear with me.
Yeah.
Sit on the throne as a benevolent, I know, right? Like right off the bat.
Off the bat.
Right off the bat, sit on the throne. as a benevolent or malevolent medieval monarch of the modern age and swipe your royal fingers either left or right to impose your will upon the kingdom. Survive the seemingly never-ending gauntlet of requests from your advisors, peasants, allies, and enemies while maintaining balance between the influential factions of your kingdom. Sorry, I need to be more dramatic. But beware. Was that good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Each decision you make might have implications and unfortunate consequences down the road that could put your reign and family's dynasty at risk. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so that's the marketing paragraph for Reigns. So now I feel like it's our job to actually tell everyone what the game actually is. Can I start by asking you if you like this game?
I did a lot.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share it with you because I think this ties into a lot of things we've talked about in previous episodes, like The Walking Dead, where we talk about the illusion of choice, for example. Like that one really stuck with me. And when we talk about, a lot of Telltale games, where I feel like a lot of that is telling a story that's going to get told no matter what. It's just your decisions kind of influence how that
change the avatars in it, but that's about it.
Right, exactly. So we both like this game. Mm-hmm. What is this game about?
Choices?
I think it's choices and consequences.
Yeah.
What my favorite thing about this game is that every decision you make has...
Sorry, I had to yawn because my brain was too hot, Dave.
Yeah, I know. Your brain was overheating, so yeah, you had to exhaust. I get it. It's not that I'm boring.
No, brain was just... If anything, you're too intriguing. My brain got hot.
Yeah. Well, you still smell that toast, buddy.
That's true.
Your brain's really fucking hot. This game is about consequences. I love that every decision you make in this game has not only an immediate consequence, but also a consequence that might come up several turns later. It's kind of set up like a card game, which is appealing to me because I like card games. You start the game as a king, and you are speaking to the spirit of kings, who tells you that you have made a pact with the devil to give you immortality. Mm-hmm. However, you did not ask for everlasting life. So what happens is you die. You play a king. That king dies. Your soul goes on to the next in line.
Oh, okay.
So the whole thing revolves, at that point, the story, I'll put that in air quotes, the story revolves around you trying to break that curse. You trying to make it so that you're, honestly, I think it's so that you can live forever. But in order to do that, you need to figure out a way to trick the devil whom you've made a pact with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the story. And I feel like the story is compelling, but I do think it's kind of secondary to the actual gameplay and the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, because what it really amounts to is you can't really have a certain play style. You just have to figure a way to walk the middle of the road with the four warring factions.
Right.
Because you're the king, and then you have to keep the meters from going too high or too low.
Right.
With the church, the people, the army, and the merchants.
Right. So there's 4 meters that you're constantly trying to keep from emptying and filling up. You do not want the meters at 0%, any of the meters. You don't want any of the fucking meters at 0%. You don't want any of them at 100%. If they reach 0 or 100, the game is over.
Yep.
Whatever faction you've either pissed off or have...
given too much power.
Yes.
Yeah.
There will be an ending where you die. Like, for instance... let's take the church. If the church gets to 0%, the church leaves and you are killed by pagans because your country has devolved into completely immoral people.
I mean, because it's true. Unless you believe, in our world, if you believe in Jesus, you can't be moral without Jesus.
You don't get all those heavenly treasures.
You can't, right?
Right.
You can't do it.
And if the church gets to 100%, the Pope essentially takes your country away. The Pope has more power than you as the king.
Yeah.
And decides it's time that you become a martyr for your people and crucifies you.
And let's see what then the people. What if it gets too low, they overthrow the government,
Yeah, they
overthrow
revolt.
you and kill you. And if it's too much, I forget they instill democracy or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that,
And
right.
it's no longer a monarchy.
Yeah, because the people now have more power than
Yeah.
the king. And then like the guilds, if you piss the guilds off, man, what happens when the money gets to 0? Oh, when it gets to 100, I know you choke on glut.
All your lavish foods.
Yeah.
If it gets to a 0, the oligarchy
Oh, that's right.
takes over
Yeah,
and
the guilds
kicks
take
you out.
over.
Yep.
Right, that's right. And then the fucking one that happens to me all the time, the one I had the most problem with was the military, getting to 100%.
Yeah.
And then the captain goes for a coup.
Yep.
And just executes you,
Yep.
kicks you out of power. And then when it gets to 0, you're overrun by invaders.
Yeah. The economy is always what got me. That's what I
Really?
was always struggling with. Yeah.
And then certain things. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I guess because the choices for the church were obvious. So I feel like the church was pretty easy to keep in check.
Right, because we need to talk about that. Because as you make decisions, those decisions.
Each turn is they flip over another card. And
Right.
that card is another decision you have to make.
Right, you're asked a question. Like you flip a card, and it's, for example, the Pope saying, "I think that we should fund a memorial for your father," and you can tell him. All the choices in this game are binary. You can say yes or no. So if you say yes, let's build a memorial for my father, the church, your influence with the church increases. The meter goes up. The meter starts to fill. Meanwhile, the money side decreases because you're paying for the memorial. And it's the reverse. If you say no, let's not do it. Honestly, I don't think your money fills up. The church just hates you.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting too. I think it's interesting that even though the choices are binary, the results of those choices are not inversed. So that's cool because it gives an extra dimension to it.
Yeah.
Because there are some where you can say yes to, and they negatively affect 3 of the factions, while meanwhile, if you said no, it's neutral. Nothing happens. So I like that a lot too. I like that you kind of have to learn how to maintain balance.
And you can tell something is going to happen by above that faction's symbol be either a small dot or a large dot.
Right.
That's going to affect them. You're not sure for good or bad, but it's going. You know it's going to be big or small.
Unless you have clarity.
That's true.
And that's what I like about this game is like I'm already on board with the core concept. I'm like, man, that is interesting. Like I could see that playing out like a fun game. And then they add a layer to it. And that layer is buffs, essentially. They're buffs that change the way the game is played. Like, for example, we just mentioned clarity. If you answer one of the questions, eventually I think the prince comes to you with a mushroom, and you can choose to eat it or not eat it. If you eat it, it could give you clarity. And what that does is allows you to see precisely how your decisions are going to affect each faction. It gives them it assigns a numerical value to it. So then,
I got that once.
oh, I love it. I fucking love it when it happens. And then there's other things too that'll affect each faction. Like, for example, you can decide to make the Silk Road, for example. That will give a constant stream to your economy. And what it does is it adds a buff to the guild faction, and it's going to, every second, it's going to dump more money in. It's going to fill that meter up fast. So I like that because what I could do is now it's a game of trying to keep the money meter from getting to 100%. So I'm just buying all kinds of things. And as you do these things, as you achieve these milestones, like creating the Silk Road, it checks off a little tick mark. Like there are achievements.
You have sub goals.
Yeah, all these little goals, when they're checked off, add more cards to the deck. So it's like, oh, you completed the Silk Road. And you see cards being dealt into the deck that are now new.
Some will be obvious and some will be silly.
Right.
Like produce an heir and you'll get those cards. Data pigeon and you'll get those cards.
Right. The data pigeon, I never once unchecked data pigeon. You know, what do you have to do?
There is, you end up, because somebody asks you, I know they say they know somebody. If you'd like to meet them, they say yes. I think it's the witch, and she says, "Would you like to learn more about white magic?" And
Yeah.
then once she asked me, "What about having someone fall in love with you?"
Yeah. Oh.
And I said yes.
It's that one.
Uh-huh.
I see. I never
And then
picked that one.
then people will start coming up, and you can say yes or no. So I just kept saying no until a pigeon popped up, and I said yes.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
You know, that's a callback to
Hateful
Hateful
boyfriend.
because Devolver published Hateful Boyfriend. I love that that's like a little nice tie-in.
Because every now and then you'll pull like the Sakura card, and it's a pigeon that just says something random to you, and then you get shuffled back in the deck.
Yes. Yeah. You get a nice little tweet.
Yep.
I should have mentioned this earlier, but I didn't because I didn't have a Wikipedia page in front of me. I do think it's important to mention that Devolver published this game. It was developed by Nereal, whom I'm not familiar with as a studio, but I'll be looking for more of their stuff.
Yeah, the game was fun. The art was good. The story, because you eventually you start a crusade, or you establish colonies, or conquer other countries, ally with other countries, things like that. It stays pretty interesting. Like the decisions are constantly. It's not like it's a progressive story. Like once more cards are shuffled in, then it's constantly changing in different orders or new things you haven't seen before.
It's a roguelike, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like a roguelike card game because once the king you're playing as dies, things reset except for those goals that you've achieved. So you want to achieve the goals so that you can get cards shuffled in the deck, new cards, but you're not really expected to go. You're expected to die. I'll just put it that way.
What was your longest reign?
Okay, so my longest reign was, I think 80 years.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't get nearly that far.
And to be fair, here's what I did, and this is a testament to how much I liked this game. When Paul told me about it, I was like, I watched the trailer, and I was like, fuck yes, there'll be a trailer, a link to the trailer in the show notes if you want to check it out. I was like, fuck yes, this looks cool as shit. I downloaded it that moment. It was $3 on the the iTunes store. I downloaded it immediately, started playing it, and about 10 minutes in, I sent you a message and I sent Jacob a message saying the same thing. Paul Korn,
I love you.
Yes, I love you. Can you please tell me that you love me as well? Please?
Validate my feelings.
Please validate me.
No homo.
Banner post.
Slightly homo.
So I told you guys about the same thing. This is a really cool game. I think you guys would enjoy this. And then I went immediately back to playing. I played it.
I see where this is really good. You played it on your phone?
Yeah.
See, I can see where it's really good on your phone. Because I played it on Steam on my laptop.
Well, I can compare the two because I wanted to stream this game on Twitch. So I bought it again on Steam for $3. And I didn't have a fucking problem with it at all. It was like, oh, $3? Yes, I'll buy that game again. Like, I mean, this game for $3 is a fucking steal.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
A fucking steal. And what's crazy is I know it's going to go on sale. Like, I know that at some point this wonderful game is going to be $1 somewhere. Whether it's the Steam sale or Humble Bundle, this game is going to be $1. But do not fucking wait. Buy this game now.
Yeah.
It's fucking fun.
It is. I stopped in the middle of a game to come record, and I'll go back and play some more after we're done.
I
don't
love
usually do that because once I don't have to play a game anymore, I move on. So
if you want to get a feel of how the game is, I did stream it on Twitch. I'll have a link to that in the show notes. I played it for like 2.5 hours. I think it was an 80-year run. Don't hold me to it.
Yeah.
It was a long run, but that's on the Twitch stream.
Because
So
I had a 46-year run and a
That's a good
47-year run, and that's all I had. Because I was wondering, because once I got that far, I started having health problems.
Right.
So I thought, oh, I must not be able to rule that much longer. I bet it caps out and you die of natural causes.
I have died of natural causes several times.
Yeah.
And like on my longest run, on my high score, I feel like I lucked out. And I also was trying to make, as I got older, I was trying to make very healthy decisions. I wasn't trying to risk anything at all, no matter what the reward was.
Yeah.
Like if the doctor's like, you have gout, I was like, yes, I'll do whatever it takes. And then eventually he found a cure. I had to like fund him for several turns.
okay.
And then he found, not an antidote, but he found something to keep me alive longer.
Yeah, because I've funded him once, and his discovery was some kind of horrible rot that killed me first, and then the rest of the country.
Oh my God. See, I also got the rot, but what happened was I was like, it didn't kill me, but it gave me a nasty detriment. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, I think I immediately went into old age. Have you ever gotten old age?
Maybe. I had to deal with No. I had to deal with a curse. That I had to have the detriments of old age, and I couldn't read right.
Right.
So it was just kind of scrambling. You had to guess for 15 years.
I love the message it gives you, because it's like when you get the old age debuff, because that's what it is. A little message pops up that says your senses aren't what they used to be. You're not able to hear very well. So, and also says, and you're too afraid as the ruler to mention this to anybody, so you make all your decisions without knowing what people are saying. So now when a card turns over and someone's asking you a question about your fucking country, it's all gibberish. Like the words they're saying are just jumbled letters. And I will say that the benefit of playing this game over and over and over again, I was able to determine what the people were asking me regardless.
There's because you take a wife and have sex with her and things like that, and then
Whoa, wait,
and it will basically
go on.
it will lock out the people icon to where you can't lose through the people,
Right.
But like I think the church doesn't
church hates
approve
it because you're
so
cheating on the queen.
You're constantly going down with the church. So
I love the woman that you can cheat on the queen with, because she is clearly, every question she asks is a sexual innuendo. And I did not put that together until a very, 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 very embarrassingly late through my playthrough, because she asked questions like, oh, would you like a taste of my cake? And I'm like, the first couple times it's just like, oh, cake. And then like when I say yes, it's like the cake was very tasty.
and everything goes up a little bit.
Right, except for the church, who fucking hates you. And I was like, why does the church hate me for eating cake? And then I was like, oh, it's sex. It's sex. I had sex with that woman. I get it.
See, I didn't get it until now. That's like she's making me a cake.
And then now when you see her,
because they talk about having forgotten how to grow strawberries.
yeah.
So.
Now when you see her, every one of them is a sexual innuendo.
Trying to think what else. So you get to meet the devil at one point who possesses your dog.
Yes. And there is an ending to this game. You talking about the devil reminded me. And I have reached that ending. I assume there are multiple endings, but I can't verify it. I think that I got the bad ending. You do get to a certain year, and what happens is the devil essentially wins. The devil says, I gave you X number of years. You weren't able to defeat me. Your spirit will be like forever locked away. And then what happens is you see the timeline just roll back as the credits roll, and then it all goes back to year 0. We didn't mention that every time each king
Rogue
dies,
Legacy style, yeah, it looks
there's
like
a timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it.
Which I would go from like, the 40-year run to like 3 decisions in, I'm dead.
I know.
Like if I'm just not, sometimes like you'll make a decision and like half the fucking bar for something will go away.
Yeah.
So.
Or you can make a decision as one king that like fucks over the next 2 kings, because like I decided
burn your stockpiles like when it's poisoned.
Yeah. Or start a crusade, because it's like I started a crusade and then died as that king. And what happened was the next king came in. And when you start a crusade, what happens is the fucking military loves it. And what happened every time was I wasn't able to stop the military from fucking filling up. So I just like every turn there was a coup until essentially the crusade stopped, until I had the option to stop the crusade.
Okay. Because I didn't get I was on the crusades for a while, but my colonies, like I wasn't on the colony screen, like maybe one king and then that was done.
Yeah, because yes, you can expand. That's another thing. I think it's really cool.
No, it's a very
all the different
for
things you can do.
$3. Like, yeah, it's a good game, especially if you can play it on Steam or on your phone.
Yeah.
This is a great game to just pull up and play for a few minutes on your phone.
I enjoyed it more on my phone.
Yeah.
It felt that weirdly that tactile element of just touching and swiping felt a lot more natural than clicking with the mouse.
Yeah.
It was also nice because I could play a few rounds and then just close it. And I knew it would be there whenever I was ready to play the next round. So it was easy, like at stoplights, for example. But
Whenever you're driving and can't play Pokemon Go.
right, exactly. Oh shit, I can't log in. All right, rains. But it's a really, really, really fun experience.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
And I feel like there's more that I could say about the game, but I also feel like we've kind of rounded it out pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I don't want to give out a whole, I don't want to give up a whole bunch of info. Like if you listen to this, you'll know whether it's your kind of game or not.
Yeah.
And also, if you're still on the fence, again, check it out on Twitch, and you'll know. And like the art style's great, the music's great. It really is. It really is a wonderful game. Now, I wouldn't pay $20 for it.
Yeah, no,
But
no,
like
it's like
$3.
$5.
Yeah, I think anything under 10, I think would be a good price for this game. So $3 is fucking generous. They nailed it.
There are some achievements in the game too.
Yeah.
I mean, I only got a few, but they're there. Still going to come up with
So
achievements.
yeah, no achievements.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give Reigns a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I would give it one Carrie Ewell style Robin of Locksley goatee.
Whoa! Okay.
So, yeah.
Did you enjoy Men in
Robin Hood
Tights?
Men in Tights. God, I fucking loved Men in Tights so much. I haven't watched it in a
that's what I was going to
while.
ask if you've gone back.
It's been like 10 years since I've seen it, but man, I fucking love that movie back in the day.
Hey, Blinken! That is... I loved that movie as a kid. I have watched it recently, and the reason I watched it is because I've heard recently a bunch of people say that is the worst Mel Brooks movie. Like, that is an awful fucking movie.
Ooh.
And I was like, really? I remember it so fondly. I've gone back and watched it, and it's not great. I don't think it's a bad movie.
It's a product of its time, unless you were the post, because it's sort of a spoof of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So
right.
outside of that era where that's popular, I can see where it doesn't hold up very well.
Yeah, I think that it probably wasn't that great when it came out.
Yeah.
And I just didn't realize it because I was a kid and I liked Robin Hood and I thought it was funny. It is, I mean, it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
But like compared to his other movies,
Compared to Blazing Saddles,
right.
what? Does
or
it
Young
hold up?
Frankenstein, it is nowhere near as good as those movies.
Yeah.
But it's got Dave Chappelle. So I like that.
It's true. It's true.
I think that's like one of the first, outside of the Dr. Katz episode that Dave Chappelle was on, that might have been the first time I ever saw Dave Chappelle.
No, you're right. Because I remember the first time I saw him, I was like, oh, hey, it's the guy from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
All right.
That and Half Baked, but I think Half Baked was
Oh,
later.
Half Baked, yeah.
Yeah. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I really enjoyed that beard.
Glad.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, if you were to rate this game with glasses, what kind of glasses would you give it?
I would give it the black framed glasses of Achu, who is Dave Chappelle's character in Robin Hood Men in Tights when he is giving his Malcolm X style speech.
I'm noticing a theme.
Yeah.
I like it.
So yeah, sort of funny medieval spoofery.
I love it. No, I love
There
it.
we go. You gonna take a few calls?
Yeah, I'd like to take some few calls. Let's see if I can hook this up. We good on time?
Yeah, we got a little bit. We take a few.
Yeah, we need some calls because this hasn't been a super funny episode. I feel like this has been more of like a
Talking about my divorce wasn't just all the yucks.
Honestly, I forgot that you mentioned that. I was just was going to say because I have gushed about this game and not made a lot of jokes.
Nah, it's fine.
Let's see. Calls. Tell us a story while I pull calls up. What'd you do while I was at Dragoncon?
I worked. At least I got paid times and a half yesterday.
That's good.
For working.
Your burn is still there and looks very fucking angry.
Starting to peel and bubble now.
Yeah.
This very angry burn because at work we do have these 6 small boxes that produce an enormous amount of steam. to cook things.
Steam boxes.
Steam boxes is what they are. They're Gabe Newell.
Right. That's
Steam
what
boxes.
Valve means when they say Steam boxes.
And but they're old and they leak. And I think at some point they acquired artificial intelligence and hate the humans. Just hate the humans. Because if I'm not just super careful, I open one up and it just spits at me and it leaks just scalding hot water. And I opened one of them up and I was reaching in to pull something out. And when I did, somebody said my name. So I turned and just barely bumped the side. And that's what this huge angry red welt is.
It was the Steam box who said your name.
Tyler.
Do you think that those Steam boxes at work are controlled by elementals, Eberron style?
They're trapped inside. They're
Right,
angry
and
fire and
they're
water
forced
elementals.
to- yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite characters in D&D is from one of Ramon's Eberron games, where I played a druid who was essentially an environmentalist terrorist who thought that the elementals were imprisoned by humans to serve them was not right, and he would do everything that he could to free those elementals.
My whole Union game was basically based off that premise.
I fucking love it.
So, yeah, good stuff.
I wish I could have played in that game, but I was in Lexington. That's a bummer. Okay, here we go. I've got the calls ready. The first one is a text message from 520 who asks, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Any word on another man-pog?
Well,
It could happen.
Let me date someone whose name starts with an M, and then we'll see.
It could happen, huh? Maybe. All right, here's another text message. Shit, I might not have even had to hook the fucking phone up to the soundboard. That might just be text messages. This is from Paul Korn, who once again recommended Reigns to us, who says, Tadpog, : what actors would you want to play each of you in the inevitable Tadpog biopic? There's a second part to this, but I feel like maybe we should answer this first part.
Okay.
So who would play us? Do you want to pick each other's? Do you want to really offend each other?
That'd be good. Yeah.
Who would be a good Dave in the Tadpog biopic? I'm having a really hard time coming up with a good Tyler.
Current day actor who plays Neville Longbottom.
Okay. Well, I don't know who I know who Neville is from Harry Potter.
As an adult,
Yeah.
I think he looks like you.
Okay. Who is the wrestler? I cannot remember who it
Sheamus.
was who tweeted you as, is it Sheamus the wrestler? It's a side by side of you at the escape room and a wrestler. On the side.
Oh no. Oh, Arn Anderson.
Is Arn Anderson? I can find this tweet.
I
and show it
don't
to you.
know. I saw it, but I don't know what he looks like.
I'll show it to you.
Well, I
Hold
saw
on,
a
pull it
Facebook.
up.
I saw a Facebook comment saying that. I don't think I saw the tweet.
I'll find it. It was good. Maybe it was Facebook. No, here it is. It was Sean. Sean Muldowney. Thank you for this. Can you tell me who this wrestler is? Tyler. You hadn't seen this, have you?
No.
I'll post this in the show notes because they're, yeah. I mean, this guy's eyes are blue and yours are brown.
Except for, oh, looks like a young Arn Anderson. I was like, I don't know what that means, but Jacob would enjoy that probably.
Is this Arn Anderson?
I guess.
I don't know. Okay. Sean Muldowney said this is Tyler's wrestling doppelganger. And he posts, this was the side by side.
Yeah, that picture, it's not Far Cry. I need to fucking lose some weight, but yeah, it's not Far Cry.
Yeah, you look fine.
Yeah, you look fine. You look young, Arn Anderson-ish.
Yeah, dude,
You're Anderson-ish.
you fucking burn like what 4,000 calories each time you work a shift.
I'm getting
You're
there.
Fine.
Yeah.
I wish that I could do
No,
that.
I think I've lost 10 pounds since I've started working there.
Yeah, you look good. Let's see. So Paul's question, his text message continues here. Let's pull it up.
Although if Miller and I were to make a baby, that baby would look like Louis C.K.
Yeah. Yeah. I do agree. I think Louis C.K. is that's my close second choice beside this wrestling doppelganger that Sean shared with us. Paul continues. Also, as long as this is being read on the air, I may as well set a reminder, quart of milk, loaf of bread, lube, 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, goldfish crackers, lube, sympathy card for great Aunt Gladys, pussy, trademark, energy drink, Golden Girls Season 2 DVD set, lube. For some reason, this is fucking weird and like crazy. Like, this is like such a weird stretch. Paul leaving that list in a form of a text message reminded me of the opening to Crank Yankers. Do you remember the show Crank Yankers?
Yeah.
And the intro,
I watched a lot of Crank Yankers.
there is the intro. There's a refrigerator that has a to buy list. It's a shopping list, and it's like, I don't know. It's like cabbage, corn, drugs. I don't know why.
Man, I forgot about that. I know what you're talking about. Man, that was. If this was a movie Inside Out, that was some grayed out memory balls. You just reached out and like lit back up.
That's the memento that we have to use to the moon style whenever you go back in my memories.
No. People know the strongest states related to memory are old episodes of Crank Yankers.
Okay, Dave's dream was to marry Kathy Ireland. How do we do that? Well, we have to unlock this memento by remembering weird Comedy Central intro details. Let's see. Here is a text message. Thank you, Paul, by the way. Here's another text message. This is from 520, who says, really enjoyed the Little Fears game. So my question is, what other children's book do you feel would make a great Little Fears game? His suggestion, he says, Winnie the Pooh would be awesome.
It's a little trite because I feel like it's kind of been done, but Alice in Wonderland is still kind of ripe for that kind of thing. The Wizard of Oz, I think, would be to do something pretty really close to like as written Frank L. Baum Wizard of Oz, like all the stuff that he did. Like a lot of it is dark and weird.
I would totally play that. I also think that Winnie Pooh. You know Winnie. I like to call her Winnie Pooh.
You know, old Winifred. We call her Winnie Pooh.
Winifred. I love the idea of Winnie the Pooh because have you seen that thing floating around on Reddit where it's like they say allegedly all the characters in Winnie the Pooh are representation of a mental illness.
I've seen mental illness and 7 Deadly Sins.
Ooh, I like the 7 Deadly Sins too. I think based on that, it would make a good Call of Cthulhu game because what you could do is like as your sanity is lowered, depending on who lowers your sanity, like that would be how your sanity manifests itself when you heal.
Oh, that'd be very good.
So like, for example, if you're fighting Eeyore and your sanity is reduced to 0, you develop depression. Yeah.
I can't fight the elder gods for shit.
I'd play a Wizard of Oz, Little Fears. That sounds fucking amazing. Let's see. Here is another text message. I really didn't need to plug the phone into the soundboard. From 850, who says, motherfucking Tadpog, period.
Oh, shit.
This is Owen.
It's like saying our middle names.
I know. This is Owen. I have been listening to your episodes now for some time, and I would have to say my favorite ones are the all-call episodes.
Love you.
Thank you, Owen. I have noticed you all mention Reddit often and was wondering what are a few of the subreddits that you frequent? Tricky question for me.
Yeah. Dave Prime or Dark Passenger Dave?
You're right, exactly. Because I have 2 Reddit accounts. One is specifically set up for NSFW subreddits. The other one is one that I can use at work and not get fired.
Yeah, because I still have my primary account purged of all nudity related subreddits because it was every time I'd see one, I'd subscribe, and that was all my newsfeed was. Like, absolutely front page. Yeah. It was just, it's all it was. Like, I couldn't get anything funny. It was just like constant semi-boners just all the time. Anytime I brought up Reddit. So I was like, I'll just keep porn to porn and just purge all of that off.
Well, I feel like what you should have done is at that point, you should have been like, oh, this is my Reddit porn account. And I didn't realize that I had been curating this for years, and then I would have just started a new account for your actual funny stuff.
That was on the account where I got that one front page. So like, nah, I'll keep that karma.
So what subreddits do you frequent?
I'm gonna pull up my Sync Dev app now. And
I'm
look.
doing the same.
Let's see. Our 4chan. I like our 4chan because it digs through the garbage and you only get like the funny gems.
The garbage of 4chan?
Of 4chan, right. So people on Reddit will post what's funny from 4chan. You don't have to go through all the shit. So that's fine.
I may need to subscribe to that.
Advanced Fitness when I was lifting really heavy, which I'm working on restoring that garage. So hopefully I can get back to that.
TADPOG NX3?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or no, NX. It'd be NX. Well, no, you were at the original NX. So NX3.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's 3 in the U.S. It's actually TADPOG NX6 in Japan.
Fuck you, Miller. Blunder Years, I think, is amusing.
Blunder Years is a good subreddit.
That's where people post their awful like school pictures and other, from when they were young and doing stupid things.
Good choice.
Everybody should subscribe to Our Butt Pasta.
What is Our Butt Pasta?
I don't know. It's locked out. We're the moderators, though.
I forgot that we made that stupid subreddit. It did nothing with it.
Nope.
I don't even remember what it was going to be for.
It is when you make like a butt plug made of pasta, and then you set in a jacuzzi till it turns into like soft pasta.
Ooh, soft
pasta. And then you just have like what looks like Cthulhu hanging out of your ass.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
So anybody want to join our subreddit? That's what you post there.
Cringe pics, Earthbound, Epic Mounts has very cool art that I used to use a lot for
Epic
D&D.
Mounts is a good subreddit.
Fallout, our fantasy for fantasy novels. Florida Man.
Florida Man?
Yep.
Like all Florida news stories?
Yep.
I thought you were saying like it was a new hit sitcom. Florida Man.
Floor to Man.
Right.
Tim Allen's new.
Tim Allen plays the floor as he teaches a young boy to be a man. So the kid can't sleep at night, and like when he can't sleep, he lies down on the floor and he puts his ear to the carpet, and then the voice of Tim Allen enters his head.
See, I was thinking it was like a weird version of Flory from Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse, but it was Tim Allen's face that just out of the floor.
Like Frighteners style. Tim Allen's face stretches to the floor.
Game collecting, game deals, game music. I enjoy all of those. Our Hot Peppers.
I should join that.
Links to
subreddit.
buy and grow and discussion about what's hotter and what combinations or where you can find good stuff. Let's see. Mother 4, Out of the Loop, Naruto, Politics, Sad Cringe, which is like cringe, but it's like stuff
But
that's
it
like
makes you sad?
yeah,
Oh.
it's like that's cringy, but also just like, oh man, that person, oh shit. Our Sex is great.
Yeah, I'm tired of the sex subreddit though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's all the same stuff.
For the most part, you're not wrong. Like every now and then you'll see something different pulled at the top, but it is like, I like this and my significant other doesn't like this. What can I do to make them like this?
The answer is always talk
Break
to the
up.
person about it. Yeah, break the fuck
Yeah,
up.
communication or I think it's over. I'm
Right.
just gonna move
It's,
on.
one of those two answers. It's like a card decision in Reigns.
Shut Up and Take My Money is like cool products. Television quotes. Today I learned. Wicked Edge, which you turned me onto.
The shaving subreddit.
Wheel of Time. Our Writing. Our SNES. Yeah, those are some of mine. Photoshop battles. I love our Photoshop battles.
Is nice. I'll also read through mine. Here we go. Abandoned porn. I love the abandoned porn subreddit.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just photographs of abandoned places.
Yep.
I love that. There's something.
Cemetery porn, earth porn, all the stuff that's what that porn, but not actually porn.
Cemetery porn also on my list of subreddits. I
I
subscribe.
wager Nicole's as well.
Yeah, probably. Dark Dickinson.
Dark Dickinson,
You know
that's where
she
she
rolls.
lives.
Character drawing, which is similar to Epic Mounts. Character drawing is a subreddit where you can throw out a request for an artist to draw a character of yours that you've created.
Oh, okay.
And so there are a lot of people who play D&D who will post requests asking for people to draw their character. or their parties. And I know that you can set up commissions to have them done too.
Is that like sort of the do it for $5 subreddit where you could pay someone to do something for $5?
Similar, yeah, where you have like requests and then people reply with, yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of set up like some of the trading subreddits, like the game trading and stuff like that. I subscribe to the cosplay subreddit. I subscribe to the D&D subreddit, the D&D behind the screen subreddit, the D&D next subreddit. All those subreddits are about D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, to varying degrees. If you are an avid player of D&D, D&D behind the screen is really cool. That's where a lot of people post content that they've created, and give ideas for campaigns and adventure hooks and stuff like that.
I hope that Stranger Things is going to add to the momentum of D&D.
D&D.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I think that it has, because it's like, I mean, fucking Stranger Things opens on a D&D game, essentially. And I think that's fucking amazing. Epic Mounts I subscribe to, just like you. Explain like I'm 5.
Oh, yep.
I love
That's a good
that
one.
because I learn a lot of things there. Fast food is a subreddit that I subscribe to specifically for TADPOG.
Yeah, I need to check out that one.
Game music, game swap, gaming, some graphic design subreddits, some web developing subreddits, har. Like that's like wishful thinking subreddits where it's like, one day I'll learn how to code. NES, Old School Cool, I think, is a really fun subreddit where a lot of people post photographs of, it's typically family members from like the 80s, 90s, and earlier. Cool photographs of people in that era. Roll20, a whole bunch of stuff. I feel like I'm done. Then the gaming subreddits, True Gaming, a whole bunch of shit.
Oh, yeah. PC Master Race I used to subscribe
PC
to.
Master Race is fucking hilarious. I'll have a link to some of these in the show notes at tadpog.com if you want to check them out. Owen continues to say, oh, no, that's it. Oops. Thanks, Owen.
That's pretty good time-wise then.
First time texter, I believe.
Yeah, thank you, Owen.
And it is Owen. It's not Owain.
Owain.
Thankfully. It's not Science. Dad's son.
Sadly, I wish it was Owain from Beyond the Ghost Tree.
Beyond the grave. So we're good?
Yep, we're
done?
good.
How'd you feel about this?
All right.
It's
all right.
okay.
We got to talk about a game that we liked. And
Kept it at a 6, I feel like.
Yeah.
Getting back into the groove.
Get back, that's true. Because next week we're going to bring Shadowrun, so.
Not many goofs on this one, I feel like.
Yeah.
Our best thing was Floor to Man. I feel. That's the pinnacle.
Butt pasta.
Butt pasta was good. We're good. We got the plug, butt pasta.
Hi-oh. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Like I said, you missed the next episode. We're going to be doing part 1 of Shadowrun for the Genesis.
Yes. So I need to get started
From
on
Digital
that.
Trends list. Yeah, me too. We got all sorts of stuff for you to leave us 5-star reviews. So please, iTunes, find us 5-star written review.
Yeah.
Amazon, people are buying our shirts. I love seeing the pictures that pop up. They're on Instagram. Nate Glines making him
I know.
Wearing it as his profile picture.
I know,
That was
Nate,
good.
you're fucking amazing. Thank you. Also, one of our big Patreon donors.
Yeah.
Also, so Nate, thank you.
It's awesome.
We really appreciate that.
Then, so if there's a game you want us to play, a guest host you want for an episode, unless it's Meg, that may or may not ever happen, or be a while. I don't know. It's fine.
Who knows? I'll ask her.
Or a Patreon request. But whatever you include in any sort of 5-star review you give anywhere, we promise we will get to that eventually.
Don't worry, guys. Like Tyler said, we're going to be back. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. Hey, do you want to have links to all the sweet subreddits that we go and waste time on? Go to tadpog.com, check out the show notes. I will not include my subreddits from my porn account. That might be a Patreon tier.
Oh man, access
Access to my curated pornography on Reddit.
both of our pornography suggestions, links, our pornography, like our vault.
We should do that. We should create a subreddit that is just our porn.
Oh man, Tadpog, our
porn.
Tadpog porn,
Ooh.
and it's just
Yeah, $5 and up. You get
Man, that's pretty good.
We let you into the darkest parts of our mind. And then we can make a game out of it where they guess, like whether it's something that you submitted or I submitted. That's what the comments are.
After 6 months, when it's archived, we tell you who won,
we tell
and they
you.
get something.
I love it. I love it. We have to do this. Oh my God, we have to do this. I can't even. That's such a good idea. I can't even remember where I am in the outro. Oh right, our fucking show notes. Jesus. You can also find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there, Tyler, as you know, doing a lot of cool shit. Thank you, everybody who has been commenting and just joining our conversations on Facebook, and also for liking the page. We asked a bunch of you to like our Facebook page, and you did it, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
So if you haven't done it yet, do it.
We're much closer to being on track for 100 every year for this year.
Yeah. So that would be great. If we could make that goal, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You can also find us on Twitter. We are at @tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you to everybody for retweeting us, especially our episode announcements, because that helps spread the word, as you know. Also, if you want to be notified of when I'm streaming shit on Twitch, it's a good idea to follow us on Twitter, because that's usually where I announce it. I don't do it on Facebook because Twitter seems more instantaneous than Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is the wizard of the group, and Twitter is the sorcerer of the group.
Yeah, okay.
They're similar, but very different.
But different in their utility.
Right. Also, if you want to know when I'm streaming shit on Twitch, you can just follow us on Twitch. We are Tadpog Podcast on there. Just do a search for Tadpog. We'll show up. And then when I stream things and eat on Twitch, you can watch that. I should have eaten something while I played Reigns. I did not. But I have noticed that when today I took off work as a recovery day for Dragoncon. So I streamed today at like 1:00 in the afternoon, and it was like, holy shit, people are watching this, as opposed to when I do it at 1 in the morning.
That should be another Patreon goal. Pick what Dave eats on Twitch.
Ooh, that is a good one. I like that. So yes.
So Phil, take note of this and please post that so we don't forget any of this.
Yeah, absolutely, because we will totally forget it. We love it when you call us. We love it when you leave voicemails and text messages. If you'd like to do that, hit us up at 883-2555. I'm off my game because we pre-recorded for Dragoncon. I can't remember our fucking number. You can, if you'd like to, donate to us. Hey, did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy the killer stroke jokes that we made? We
talked about our soulmate strokeage.
Yeah. Is that your bag, baby?
Some say if you record over 300 episodes of a podcast together, your souls fuse as one and you stroke out together.
I was about to say you're common law married. I want to take a moment to thank people who have donated to us on Patreon recently. I didn't get to do it on last episode because we pre-recorded, so I'm going to have to double up. I want to thank Burger Bottom John Turley for donating to the Patreon. John,
oh, damn.
Thank you for joining the League of Extraordinary Donors.
I guess he does still think about us.
And he listens. He's been texting me. He's catching up. So that's amazing, John. Thank you. And he bought a shirt, too.
Okay.
So he is 100% a Tadpog. He's setting up his
great return
city-state in the Tadpog Nation. I also want to thank Brett Miller for upping his pledge. Thank you, Brett. I'd like to thank Douglas from Better Made, who recently upped his pledge. He's keeping that 2-penny train a-rolling. I want to thank Micah Purdue for upping his pledge by a penny, keeping that penny train rolling. I want to thank Phil Hawkins for upping his pledge, keeping his penny train rolling.
Yeah.
Micah, thank you so much for starting this as a trend. I love it when people donate a penny or 2 pennies at the end of every episode.
If we could only get like 100 people to do it.
Do you want to hear your name on an episode of TADPOG? Do you want to hear it on every fucking episode of TADPOG? Up your pledge by a penny each time. And you will
that could get problematic.
Nope. I'll sit here and I'll read it. We'll have 3-hour-long episodes. I don't care.
It'll be like Arya's prayer before bed.
I know. And that's it. That's all the people I have to thank. If you want to join the League of Extraordinary Donors, you can do so at patreon.com/tadpog. You can mail us things if you want. I do not have that P.O. Box information memorized, but Tyler, I'm sure Tyler does.
Somewhat, but I'm going to read it anyway. Tadpog Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. There's also an Instagram, so Tadpog_podcast on Instagram. It's Pokemon and game-related stuff most of the time, or funny stuff I see on Facebook or Reddit that I then want to post, so it's whatever. And our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Nailed it.
How you want to close this out, Dave?
I feel like we just spent like 30 minutes on that outro.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Do we need to like clean that up?
It's cumbersome.
It is cumbersome. I think there are some good little funny bits mixed in there, but like it's like 5% little bits to 95 just straight fucking business.
Yeah. Yeah, we can work on that.
Maybe we need to figure something out.
We could probably also work on our intro.
Oh yeah, you want to change our intro?
Yeah, might be a good idea.
What's wrong with our intros?
The person who reads our disclaimer probably isn't as attached to
our disclaimer.
Yeah.
I see. I thought you meant our intros.
No,
that we start
intro's
the show
fine.
with.
Just the disclaimer.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we've been talking about that.
They may not be as personally invested anymore,
Right.
so we can find
Maybe,
something to go.
Possibly not. We have been talking about making that a legitimate Patreon donor level. I don't know what it would be, but a certain amount pledged each month. And you, the listener, gets to record the disclaimer. And as long as you remain a donor at that level, we'll play your disclaimer and we'll rotate them out with others that have been sent in.
Yeah, so if you have your own podcast or something you want to promote or just take over,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, I don't want them to take over.
Well, they just just them be like, hey, I just wanted to be my voice.
Oh,
Tadpog.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought maybe
It's
you
like
were...
Nick takes over our school, not just like take over.
Nick takes over your school. I forgot about that shit. So that's a good way to hear your voice, is what we're saying.
Yep.
It's a good way to take over Tadpog. It would be really funny, I think, if someone sent in a disclaimer that was an hour and 5 minutes long.
Yep.
Funny, but we would never use it.
I mean, maybe on Patreon, but then you give it to your Patreon to hear it on your own Patreon.
So that's an idea we're kicking around. I guess we're looking for feedback, but we're probably going to do it regardless.
Or that'd be a good April Fool's Day episode.
Yeah, it would be a good April Fool's Day episode. Hey, listener, want to do the work for us?
Yeah. Give us money.
Oh, shit.
Do the work for us.
I just opened a fucking weird can of worms, didn't I? So there we go.
Yeah.
That's it. How do you want to close it out?
Part of me wants to say stroke victim, but I don't think that'd be very good. So
It wouldn't be very, it wouldn't be in good taste, or we wouldn't do a good job?
both.
Okay.
Because we'd just be, I don't know what someone having a stroke actually sounds like.
No, me neither. But we've all heard,
We'll see if we can find some YouTube videos to watch together later.
we all heard Dick Clark.
We know what we look like. Shit. You would do like Casey Kasem.
Why?
Dick Clark and Casey Kasem are tied in my memories. When you said Dick Clark, it brought up Casey Kasem. Like he's announcing the hop dance or whatever at the Max from Saved by the Bell.
we could do that. We could do John Goodman as King Ralph.
Oh man, it's been a long time.
I don't think I can do it.
That was one of my first. I'm taller, and I think King Ralph was a very.
Yeah. How about John Goodman from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, Cyclops.
We can do Cyclops.
Okay. So until next time. Tropical Capricorn. That could also be the general from Wild Wild West.
I know. I love how I thought the name of the movie was Oh Brother, How Art Thou? How are you doing? Brother, how are you doing?